I went back to the convent yesterday. It seemed the only way to make it stop. I couldn't handle the darkness any longer. I felt the pull again, and it is so difficult to ignore. I'm glad I didn't. Maybe it's true what they say. Things work out in the end. Either way, I'm okay. I think Alina is in the hospital still. I'm not quite sure what's happened to everyone else. Since I visited Martin's lab, all those days ago, I haven't heard from anyone else. It's strange, really, but I couldn't find the time to be worried about it with everything else going on. The convent was quite difficult to find. I thought for a while that maybe I wouldn't be able to. The key is to start at the very top of the river and get off once you reach the dam, and then re-enter the water. I don't know why, but it's different once you get back on. Not the same place somehow. The city just sort of melts away. Suddenly, those tall industrial buildings give way to bright green pastures and tiny little farmhouses. It's not a convent either. I knew it never was. But it also wasn't a mill. So, I suppose Martin and I were both wrong about that. I finally met my father. He looks so much like the photo Mom had, even all these years later. It's amazing, really. I knew him immediately. I should tell Mom, but I feel like she'll feel bad because she looks so much older now. At least now I know what the numbers mean. 37081933221100 and 3. Always 3. You were all right, by the way. 3 is important. 3 is important. 3 is important. I'm not entirely sure where I am right now. Somewhere in the Alps, I think. But it's been a strange weekend. There are other people here as well, and they're all quite lovely. It feels like home. It's the same feeling I had while in the woods in my dream before seeing the man in the pinstriped suit. Warm, safe, peaceful, loved, cherished. I do so wish they would stop staring, though. Their eyes are far too large, really. Like owls looking and looking at me all the time. They remind me of Amy, in that regard. I never found out what happened to her or where she ended up. Likely she's with Clement, and Martin assures me that Clement is a nice guy. At least it wasn't Peter. I still don't like Peter. Martin says I won't have to meet him ever again if I don't want to. I will update if I can, but I don't know when I'll be back. My iPhone only has 16% battery life left, and I'm using most of it to post and edit this. It could be a long time still. To be totally honest, I'm not entirely sure when I'll go back. I tried to post earlier, but I couldn't find the words. And you need 800. 800 words is a lot to type on a phone. I need to think about it, but the words still didn't come. So I just wrote whatever is in my head right now. I know you want to hear about the other dates as well. Maybe tomorrow the words will be easier. Maybe they won't. Who can predict the future? My head doesn't feel quite right. I again feel like I'm in a dream, but I know I'm awake. Speaking of dreams, Dad says I won't have the nightmares. Again, I'm glad those are over. I have to say, it's so nice to finally have a father. I feel bad now for never even asking his name. I was so stubborn then. Sometimes you shouldn't resist. I do know his real name now, but he already warned me that I mustn't tell anyone. I just met him, so I really don't want to make him angry with me already. I don't think I'd like him when he's angry. Martin did have Nana's necklace, by the way, but he says I don't need it anymore. I showed him these posts. He admitted he knew all along I'd been writing them. The mountains here are very, very pretty. They rise up from the lake, so tall that the clouds drift in and out of them. I wish you could all see it. Maybe one day you will. And the food here is amazing, of course. We keep having picnics like in the garden. I'm quite well taken care of, so you needn't worry. I have my dad and Martin. Beth is coming too. They promised. I've learned a lot about Martin, about myself, about everyone. I hope one day I can tell you. Things are terribly clear all of a sudden, and yet so very fuzzy. Oh, and to answer the question everyone has been asking since the beginning, Martin, is not the guy from the club. My friends were all pretty certain of that. But it's okay now. It will all be okay. Be okay. Be okay. You'd be amazed how much darkness there is all around you. Sometimes the light doesn't even help. It can't reach everywhere. Remember,